brings us to this week's grim report about global warming and a looming climate catastrophe.
Extreme weather, from drought to heavy rain and cyclones.
Seas are rising. Hurricanes will be more powerful like Katrina, and polar bears may be headed toward extinction.
We don't see that happening. Tornadoes are not increasing. The frequency of hurricanes is not increasing.
The world is heating up fast, and we have ourselves to blame.
I'm going to tell you something about the media and global warming that you don't hear real often. It's not all your fault, okay?
The problem with the media is that
climatologist.
It's essentially become business.
I believe, I'm not sure what he said, but I believe he said they're all mythologists about global warming. I think that's what he meant to say, or what he said. And that's interesting coming from a guy who's called Mystical Forest.
And everything's going to be more sensationalized.
This goes on for quite a while. So I'm just going to fast forward to when he starts talking again. Because, I mean, seriously, it's like watching, like, with him just staring there, with that couple of brain cells trying to start, like an engine, which is trying to turn over after he had left the dome light on all night. It's just not gonna happen.
That's weird. Scientists believed it was cooling then, now they believe it's warming. Which one should I believe? I guess I just look at the facts, but see what I'm saying when it comes to scientists? They're inconsistent. They change their story. I can't even keep up with them, they change their story so much.
Okay. There is a difference between being inconsistent and then changing your views based on different evidence that you get from different, people, different sources. Now, the reason that in the 70s and 60s we thought that was cooling is, and now we're thinking it's warming. Yes, it started cooling then, but the thing is, the reason why this is a little bit more reliable is because in the past 20, 30 years, we've had this technology boom which makes it much easier to share data, to record it, and to collaborate on that data and make an actual, good statement and good theory. What real science is, Nick, what real science is, not junk science like you think should be science. Real science is not the fact of proving something that you already know or have already tested, reproving it. It's taking your hypothesis from a previous test and then trying to prove it wrong. This is a case of actual pretty good science. Yes, there has been some number fudging, but we took our hypothesis from the beginning, which was the Earth is cooling. And we kept on testing it, and testing it, and testing it, taking different data points, and, being able to collaborate on better sources of material, better sources. And now we have disproved our original theory, which was the Earth is cooling.
One decade it's cooling, then it's warming, then it's something else, then it's this, then it's that. Do they even know where their heads are at? Do they?
Again, if you just want to watch his video where he just sits there and stuff like that, I'm going to post it off on the sidebar. Yes, sidebar there. And then that way you can watch him struggling to think.
I wanted to mention real quick that this guy, the guy that did response to me, he says that he doesn't believe Al Gore. He says he basically makes him out to be a sideshow, a clown. I agree with you on that. But you believe what he says anyway. It doesn't really matter if he's a scientist or not. You believe what he says. Doesn't matter. You believe that CO2 is causing global warming. He believes that. I don't care if he's a sideshow or a clown.
Okay. First of all, You are no better. You are blindly believing everything that Glenn Beck says is correct, which is 90% of it is wrong. And you're saying that Al Gore is a sideshow or a clown, but yet you follow this guy.
You still believe what he says. Okay? Now, which scientist do you believe in? The one from the 70s or the ones now? I'm just curious about that. I mean, these people are the same scientists, a lot of them.
Nick, please refer to what I had before about the how our collaboration has changed with the invention of the internet and email, being able to have more accurate measurements for everything. Just please stop making the same mistake over and over and over again, because I mean, you make me do things like that. You make me hit my phone on the floor. And I don't need that.
That believed that the Earth was cooling then. And do you believe history? I'm wondering about that. Did you ever ask yourself why in the hell? Let's say that carbon emissions causes a cooling effect, not a warming effect. Say that.
No, I won't say that.
Either way, how would it happen hundreds of years ago when we didn't have vehicles to do this, when we weren't killing the Earth? Have you ever asked that question?
Yes, Nick. It's the population expansion again. And in fact, if you look at the hockey stick graph that Glenn Beck says is a lie, you would also find that the mean temperature, the mean carbon dioxide, and our population all follow that exponential curve. You know, we went from like a couple, maybe 1 billion people on this planet 100 years ago, and now we're up to 6.7 billion people. It's the population. That's why you saw it in the Middle Ages, in the medieval times. It's because of the immense population expansion that happened.
This thing happened that don't seem to be included in it, which are the Little Ice Age, which is a very cold period that ended in the late 19th century, and the medieval warm period around 1000 or so.
Now, I stopped it at that point to show you the actual graph, and just do a Google research thing on when the Black Death was, the bubonic plague was, because you would find that the dates of the global warming in the medieval and when it cooled off are very similar. And plus, Nick, if you look at that graph that I'm about to show you, it is nowhere near the amount of warming that we are experiencing now. Alright, so as you can see from the graph, and I feel like mocking him again, so Trololo guy, help me out one more time.
Temperature.
Thank you. You see, CO2 does not drive temperature.
See, this is the problem I have with any major 24-hour news network, is they can have any guy come on and say he's an expert on it. And partly Nick is right here. CO2 does not directly drive temperature up. It keeps the radiation inside. Nick, if you did this, create a faux greenhouse. Do an experiment for me, alright? Get 2 plants. Water one every day, and just put a heat lamp on it. Now,